All right. This is these are 2 nucleus colonies we bought earlier this year. This is John and Richard with Briar Creek apiaries, and these we suspect to be Russian bees. They're a little mean, but they are some serious builders. They just started with the deeps. It was a 5-frame nucleus colony for each of them. And when did we get those? The 26th?
Late April.
April 26th, I'm almost positive. Anyway, and they've already been supered twice, obviously, and now is their 3rd time. What John is doing is spraying a sugar water mixture on these empty frames with the plastic foundations, and that helps them. That encourages them to draw these frames out. I'm just going to get video of the supering of the hive he's working there, and then I'm going to cut it off. But it will be doing an identical procedure to that hive. We checked these just a little while ago, and they were there's a lot of bees. I mean, they're really ready for supering, and I really think that they'll actually be making honey this year. People always ask, well, when do I super? When do I super? Most of these frames already have comb drawn out on them, and a lot of these frames were brand new, and the bees have already drawn this comb in a matter of under 10 days. So they're getting nectar from somewhere. We suspect catawba tree and persimmon, and I mean, they're still getting nectar from dandelions and whatnot. But when you see bees on 7 or more frames in one of your boxes, especially a medium box, it's a good idea to go ahead and expand their space, especially if you're in the season for nectar flow, where they're continuing to expand. Over there. There's one box off. And this is actually a procedure called bottom supering. These hives are expanding so quickly that we actually are going to slow them down a little bit by doing what's called bottom supering. Instead of putting the super on top, and I know this is a bit oxymoronic due to the word super, we're actually going to be putting it on the bottom of the medium stack. That's a good one, John. And what he's doing here is he's taking that brood frame, and it's going to serve as a bridge to allow the bees basically to smell their way up. I didn't really even look for the queen, but I ain't gonna worry too much about it. They'll be able to smell their way up to these full boxes. Not that they'd have much of a problem anyway, but that little maneuver he just pulled just helps them a bit. I'll probably do another frame that way if you are so inclined. Yeah.
I'll just do just that one. Well, let me check this one.
These bees can be quite feisty, but they are some very serious workers. That duct tape needs to either be replaced or, I don't know about removed. I'll be honest, that super large opening for an entrance really invites more problems than good. A lot of people say, well, I want to increase my entrance so that they'll easily be able to get in and out in order to bring in honey. Well, they're bees. They're not very big. They don't have too much of a problem with that usually. There are occasions when you would want that entire opening, but they're rare.
These in.
What's that burr comb?
Or drone.
Drone?
And I split this one just to do it, change it up on a little bit. Busy bees.
And again, these bees are just
a tad bit more leery of people. Doesn't like we're doing. But if you're a beekeeper, you got to fool with the bees.
I got it.
Yeah, I'm just going to add these two. I'm just putting these on the outside, Bubba, because I don't want to really confuse her that bad. This is going to be a little bit higher up anyway, so they'll probably be in these.
I think there's enough bees to
Work on them.
Yeah.
All right. Golly, that's heavy.
Alright, so those two are full. That's the deep brood nest area. We're trying to get rid of deeps, but this one hasn't been rotated out yet. The nukes we bought were deep.
Yeah, when you get a nuke, you get deep.
And this is bottom super in here. Some people do sell medium nukes though, John. Matter of fact,
Yeah, they're rare though.
We'll be selling medium nukes.
Sure will.
But anyway, so this is bottom supering. He put the pretty much empty medium on top of the deep nest, and with those bridge combs there. And now we're putting the full zone, and this just gives them quite a bit more space, and it kind of breaks up the extremely fast pace they're building at. We're trying to keep them from swarming, and at the same time
giving the queen giving her more brood space.
Yep, giving the queen more brood space, and also at the same time trying to expand them enough to where they won't swarm, but also we'll get a honey crop off of them.
Yep.
But
they brought in so much honey that they're crowding the queen now.
That's the trick to beekeeping, is they want to store honey for winter, and then after winter they want to go. And so while they're storing honey, if they feel like their numbers are high enough and they have enough stored, they will try to swarm, and that's where the beekeeper, that's what he's trying to prevent, or she. And you'll notice that the hives are leaned, and that's just to allow runoff when it rains. If you lean a hive any which way, you typically are always going to lean it forward so that any sort of moisture buildup will run out the front door. And that's it. That's how you bottom super. And I named some of the reasons for doing it that way. And with these Russian bees, you want to have on your full gear. And what he did there was allow that opening up top for ventilation on the inner cover. Anyway, I'm gonna help him with this next hive. Bye bye.